now we've got new research showing that more minorities and women are getting concealed carry permits. Joining us, the author of the study, John Lott, with the Crime Prevention Research Center. All right, John, give me some numbers here. Men versus women when it comes to concealed carry permits.
Right, well, we've seen permits explode generally. There are over 16.3 million Americans with concealed carry permits. That's up from 4.6 million in 2007, just a decade ago. So that's almost a fourfold increase. But as you say, it's particularly grown among women and minorities. Women, if you look at the last 4 years, their permit rate went up by 93%. Compared for men, it went up by 22%. Blacks went up about 30 percentage points faster in terms of growth of permits than for whites.
Did your study encourage any explanation for this? Why this increase among minorities and women for concealed carry and ownership of guns in general?
Right. Well, I think it kind of parallels some polling that we've seen. There are polls that are regularly asked on things like, do you feel safer owning a gun in your home, or do you think it's more likely to cause danger? And over the last decade, we've seen kind of a sea change in women's and blacks' views on those issues. You now have a majority of women who think that owning a gun in the home actually makes them safer as opposed to creating dangers. And there's been a similar, though not quite as large, change for blacks.
John, do you take sides in this debate? Are you a big Second Amendment supporter, or are you a gun control guy? Do you come from either side?
Well, my views have changed over time. I guess 20 years ago, I probably would have been in the middle of the debate. But after looking at the numbers on these things, I think on net, things like concealed carry makes people safer.
Okay.
The police are important.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but if you've got an opinion, do you have an opinion on guns in schools, guns in the workplace, guns on college campuses? Good or bad?
Well, I think that's another place where my views have changed. Look, I understand people think you can make places safer by banning guns in certain areas, but the problem is the people who obey those laws are the good, law-abiding citizens, not the attackers. And in fact, the attackers take advantage of that. Since 1950, over 98% of the mass public shootings that we've had in the United States have taken place in areas where general citizens aren't allowed to be able to have guns. I can give you case after case where these killers explicitly pick targets where they don't believe the victims are able to go and defend themselves because they know they're going to be able to harm more people if there's nobody there quickly to arrive with a gun to protect others.
John, I think public opinion has shifted significantly over the past decade. Thanks for being with us with your study. We appreciate it.
Thank you.